Hi, this is Christophe Clugston, and welcome to the Mars Roman Close Combat vlog. This is starting something new. I'm going to tackle some things here that are controversial for martial arts or controversial in fighting. And I'm going to do that every so often. And it's going to be part of an integration with my blog, fluentfighting.com, and also with everything that we do, putting it in this format so a lot more people can access it and can resource to it also. So one of the things that I want to talk about, the very first thing, is this idea of sporting martial arts or martial arts sport fighting versus the guys in combatives. Now there's something, especially there seems to be some sort of thing about the MMA guys and the combative guys. There's a lot of discrepancy here on their ideas, and they don't really know their weaknesses, and they don't know what would be maybe their strengths really either. They over-evaluate themselves on both counts. Now, I've got my list here to keep me on track so I don't get on a tangent. I'm going to try to keep this very focused. And if you want to make comments about this, go to my blog, and I'm going to have no comments on the videos because I'm interacting with my inner core people, the special inner core people, privately in our own form. So this is on YouTube, but it is not, it's for you to get information. It is not to start a bunch of troll fests from people who have no real name and no real photo. I'm stopping that at point one, okay? So anyway, let's dive into this idea about combatives versus especially mixed martial arts. Now, there seems to be, the biggest problem is that basically MMA guys overgeneralize their skills. Now they train hard. I'm talking about people who actually compete. I'm not talking about wannabes. This is really going to be a big deal in combatives. I'm not talking about wannabes. I'm talking about guys who actually fight. Now this could also be Muay Thai. It could also be wrestling. It could also be K1 or boxing. I wouldn't say necessarily like just BJJ competition counts. It has to be more brutal, and that's one of the things that sort of training will do. When you spar, you get used to, you have to develop pain control, and you also have to develop stress control. As you're over your head against someone who's much better than you, especially in striking, you're going to get the living shit beat out of you, and the best you can do is contain it. You're not going to walk into Holland in the Netherlands and Amsterdam and go to Bo's gym and try to kickbox with the K1 glory level guys. It's not going to happen. You're just going to get beat like a drum. So, but the problem is they have this, but they can't apply this to other places because they don't know about other environments. They're used to predictable environments. They're used to a ring or a cage with a certain amount of footing, a certain space. It's clear, it's unobstructed, the lighting is good. They're not used to like being in the sand, being in the snow, being in the water, being in an alley. The lights get turned out. They don't suddenly have 5 people jump into the ring to face them. Okay, now that would be a limitation, but they do have strengths. Like I said, the conditioning, the pain control, the stress control are vital to real fighting. And this is what I'm trying to get to here, because what we're doing at Roman Close Combat, we deal with the entire thing. I'm going to cover something in a second too. Now let's just switch quickly to combatives. Combatives guys overgeneralize their theoretical knowledge. That's the problem. They are theorists because few of them have ever done things in a moral consequence environment, especially the guys talking about blades. And this will actually get them infuriated. If you ask them, how many fights have you really had with knives? And then they start to back up, well, da-da-da-da-da, and they actually get defensive, and the people who are their sycophants also get defensive. But the reality is, if they have not ever done this, they have no clue. It's just theory. And here's a great analogy for you. Who learns to fly an F-18 from someone who's never flown an F-18? You don't do it. You learn to fly an F-18 from someone who's actually flown an F-18. Same thing if you're flying a Black Hawk helicopter. You learn from people who are Black Hawk pilots who have done it. Okay, this is the problem. Combative guy, there's too many that haven't done it. And this would eliminate 99.9% of all the combatives guys. Hey, if you want to be a fan of combatives, that's fine, but you can't teach the stuff if you don't know it. You know, look, the shit's too serious to be dealt with by theory guys who say, yeah, I do this and this and this and that, and they haven't ever been in stress. Plus, combative guys tend to be older and out of shape. They're not athletic. They could not do 5 rounds in the cage or in Muay Thai. It couldn't happen, and they try to, well, I carry this and that. Yeah, well, good luck in a lot of situations as you're not going to be able to get to it. Now, I'm not addressing guns here because guns are a non-issue because you can't use them everywhere around the world. All the US people, I pull out a gun, good luck. You're going to be killed with a blade before you get the gun out in close quarters. Anyway, so the reason I'm bringing these up is because I'm in a unique position because I sport fought professionally in 75 fights on 3 continents at a high level. I know what the hell I'm talking about. I know the training that goes into that. I know the resilience. I know the pain control. I know the abuse you'll take on your body, but it's part of it and you need it. And I also know real fighting. I've been in real situations, about 50 fights, about 4 or 5 of those people trying to kill me, many of them outnumbered. I can't seem to get an even fight anymore. And a lot of those fights were with people with weapons. Basically, the 2 weapons you will see around the world are blades and sticks. You know, bottles. People have hit me with bottles and sticks and knives or blades. And if it's a longer blade than that, you've got some serious problems too. Not that knives are easy to deal with. Now, the reality is that I've only learned from people who've actually done things. As Combat JKD, Mike Sandlin, the premier street fighter in JKD. Nobody touched him. Asadan and Santo. All right. And when I went to grappling, Gene LaBelle, legend. John Saylor, legend, if you know them, actually did the stuff. And when I learned Marine Kali, the blades, from a guy who's killed people in close quarter combat with blades. Not a theory guy, not someone who hasn't done it, not someone who hasn't done it often. He's done it a lot. That's why I go to these people. Same with Jarosa, Eskrima, stick fighters who actually fight in Cebu. Now, these things are what allow me to see the bullshit for what it is. And most people in combatives are full of shit. They've never fought, they haven't done it, and you pull them on it, they know, oh, they want to get aggressive with you, but they really don't want to get aggressive on you because they can't compete one-on-one with you, with someone at a high level. And they could not beat MMA, K1 guys or high-level Muay Thai guys either. Or a catch wrestler, they'd get cremated. They can't compete. They don't have the body for it. They don't have the athleticism for it. So the reality here is that if you want to be complete, you have to do both types of training. And the reality is to go to only those people who have experience in it. Now, if you want to learn Muay Thai, you don't go to somebody in the United States who's never set their damn foot in Thailand, who doesn't even know the rules about Muay Thai, who's never trained in Thailand, let alone never fought in Thailand. Those are posers. Those are fakes. That's what we call that. Yeah, you're going to learn French cooking from living in Iowa. The shit isn't going to happen, you know. It's not happening. Same thing with combatives. You're going to learn combatives from a guy who's got a group of people who they train, but he's never had anyone try to kill him. He's never been in a situation where he has to kill somebody. It's bullshit. You learn these things from people who've really done it. So the reality is that there's limitations on MMA, the fact that they overgeneralize their ability to adapt to certain situations. They can't deal with someone just throwing a knife in. They don't know what to do when someone has a stick. It's a bad news for them. The same thing with K1 guys, Muay Thai guys, or catch wrestling guys. They all have a problem with it. Now the combatives guys who say, we do this and this and that, they haven't done it under distress. They haven't done it when someone seriously hurt them. They haven't done it when they're hurt. There's a big difference. Performing when you're hurt is an internal check of your character. All right, so what you take away from this is you got to learn from real people. There aren't many. And your YouTube Web 2.0 idiots who think they are talking about their professional career and telling you how to fight with 3 amateur fights. That is just complete bullshit, all right? Or the people who are trying to tell you about this technique and that technique. Oh, the guy that taught me, that taught him, his third cousin had a fight. It works. No, it doesn't. It doesn't work. If you haven't done it, it doesn't work. All right? All that pattern bullshit you're doing from whatever you think you're doing with Filipino martial arts or your idea of something doesn't work. If you haven't done it, it doesn't work. All right? Theory out the window, reality is in. That's what we're here to do. Now check out my Facebook page, Christophe Clugston Extreme Fighting. Go to fluentfighting.com, get on the mailing list. As you know, I've been around a long time. I've got DVDs that go on special, but only to people on the list. And if you're really serious, you get on the Inner Core, and you do seminars, training like that. All right, so I'll be back at you next time with another controversial, in-your-face, destroying the bullshit, giving you reality.